The Liminal Glow, The Philosophy of the Loading Bar, a video essay monologue for those caught in the pause between worlds. There's a moment, a very particular moment. You've witnessed it 1,000 times. You've felt it, but maybe never truly took the time to fully process. It lives in the hum, the hushed moment before revelation, that quiet swell just before a whole world arrives. It's the loading bar. Whether it appears as a spinning circle, a climbing percentage, or that thin rectangle of light crawling across your screen like it's dragging an entire dimension behind it, something sacred is happening there. We just don't talk about it. Sure, the loading bar is technically just a progress indicator, but in your lived experience, your felt reality, it's something far more primal. It's a digital heartbeat, a visual breath, a whispered promise from the machine. Wait, I'm thinking now. I'm preparing something for you. Something is about to arrive. And in that pause, suspended in that glowing in-between, you're no longer who you were, but you haven't yet become who you're about to be. That quiet corridor, that breath between past and future, that's the liminal glow. In the early days, there was no glow, just black screens and blinking cursors, buzzing tapes, static signals, blank uncertainty. You didn't know if it was working, you just waited, a kind of primal digital faith. Then came numbers, percentages, cold and mechanical, ticking upward from 0 to 100, quite useful, but rather sterile, lacking spirit. Then came the bar, the horizontal shimmer, the path of progress made visual. For the first time, waiting had a shape. Time had a trajectory. Something was visually unfolding. But not all loading indicators are bars. One of the more elegant evolutions was the progress pie. A circle that starts empty, then gradually fills like a clock or a rising moon. This wasn't chaos. This was geometry with purpose. It fused the spiritual completeness of the circle with the logical clarity of the percentage, a hybrid symbol, the middle path. It didn't just spin, it measured. It didn't just flow, it filled. Where the bar is linear, and the progress pie is circular order. Then came the spinner in its cyclical chaos. So then, the spinner arrived, not the progress pie, the endless spiral, the void wheel, the modern mandala. No numbers, no endpoint, only rotation, only motion. Where the bar says, here's how far you've come, the spinner says, something is happening. You're not supposed to know what. It's mystical by design. It hides the process behind beauty. And like a mantra, it repeats endlessly. It invites you to surrender, to stop measuring, to sit with the unknown. And in its silent spiral, it echoes the oldest geometries. The spirals of galaxies, fingerprints, thoughts, time. The spinner is not telling you how far you've come. It's reminding you that you're inside the process. Eventually, developers began to turn loading into theater. They took the wait and made it perform or play. Resident Evil gave us doors, ancient creaking barriers that masked room loading beneath dread and anticipation. Final Fantasy turned memory transfer into ritual summonings. Crash Bandicoot used glowing portals as sleek disguises for transitions. DBZ Budokai had a spinning Master Roshi. You could make him spin faster and fly up fast if you quickly wound the analog sticks. The original PS2 Star Wars Battlefront zoomed into a unique planet each time, leaving the player curious as to where it would zoom into next. The original PS1 Tekken used a minute of the Namco arcade classic Galaga as an actual playable demo during the loading screen for the main game. A playable loading screen? At the time, this was genius and revolutionary. So revolutionary, Namco thought that they would create a copyright patent on the entire idea, barring anyone and everyone else, so that no other developers could easily put a smaller game before their bigger game. To do such things could lead to a lawsuit in court and financial ruin. Even when consoles like the Nintendo 64 had instant loading cartridges, they still chose to ritualize the pause. Ocarina of Time made you watch temple doors rise like stone curtains. Banjo-Kazooie gave you puzzle doors that slowly unlocked with jiggies, one by one. Donkey Kong 64 masked loading zones behind cinematics. GoldenEye 007 opened every mission with a briefing screen, disguising mission delay as intel delivery. These weren't bugs, they were performances, choreographed pauses. The threshold wasn't optional, it was sacred. And in those moments, those still spaces, something deeper began to form. You stopped playing, the controller went cold, the cursor stopped responding, and you waited. Not out of choice, but necessity. The loading screen strips you of all input, and in doing so, it initiates you into the first real teaching. You are not in control. You are witnessing something larger than you. Sometimes it zips from 0 to 74, then stalls for eons at 99%, a digital koan, because real progress is rarely smooth or flawless. It stutters, it bumps, it loops, it tests you. And sometimes, it breaks. The glow dies, the bar freezes, the world halts, stuck at 73%, the file corrupts, the dream doesn't arrive, and it hurts, perhaps more than it should, because you weren't just waiting for code, you were standing at the edge of a portal, waiting for the other side. But we reboot, we reload, we try again, we trust again. Because even a failed loading screen carries something sacred, the echo of intentions, the residue of becoming something, the belief that a new world is possible, even if this one never finished rendering. Try again. Eventually, we made the ritual nearly invisible. Modern games replaced the pause with a seamless flow. God of War, 2018, uses a single continuous camera. No cuts, no fades, no visible loads. The Last of Us hides transitions behind crawl spaces and cinematic interactivity. Red Dead Redemption 2 loads your next experience based on where you and your horse might look next. This is prediction. Asset culling, invisible orchestration. The bar never disappeared. It just stepped behind the curtain. You're still crossing thresholds. But now, the ritual is silent. The glow moved underground. And in our obsession with speed and realism, we lost something core. The loading screen wasn't just wasted time to kill. It was thinking time. The moment before the plunge. A breath. A plan. A question. You'd sit there and wonder, what's coming in this next scene? What if I try something new this time? What did I miss before? The pause became your strategy screen, your tactical room, your reflection point, your quiet rehearsal for the unknown. And now, it's practically gone, optimized out of existence. We didn't just lose waiting, we lost a type of becoming. Now we skip that first held breath. We dive headlong into every new moment. But anticipation was part of the ritual. The suspense mattered. The reverie mattered. Without it, arrival is hollow. The doorways open too fast. You don't even remember crossing it. We erased the wait, and with it, erased the wonder. Zoom out. What if this isn't just about games? What if you, right now, are loading? What if consciousness is a slow render, and you're watching your future download into form? What if quantum physics is just reality waiting to be observed, rendered, asset culled? What if your dreams are compiling, and the quiet parts of your life are just caching the next version of you? You are the bar. You are the spinner. You are the silent space between selves. Maybe God is still loading here even now. So what does the loading bar really teach? How to wait, how to surrender, how to trust the invisible, how to let go of your idea of timeline and honor the one that's unfolding beneath that. When life feels slow, stuck, paused, you are not broken. You are processing. The glow hasn't disappeared, it's just shifted beneath the surface. So take the breath, let the bar complete, let the pie progress, let the spinner spiral spin, let the glow on, because something beautiful is about to begin. And the waiting, that suspended luminous reflection, is part of the beauty too. That liminal glow, the glow remains, the loading screen ends. The new world begins.